would have thought a sporting event's halftime show could have a bigger impact than the game itself? Well, the Super Bowl halftime show does exactly that. In 2024, Usher brought in an audience of 180 million worldwide, the biggest ever in the event's history. But how did singing and dancing get to be the centrepiece of America's biggest sporting event? The first edition of the Super Bowl was held in 1967 when the Green Bay Packers beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Los Angeles. Because of the sheer size of the event, organisers wanted to put on entertainment at halftime for the fans in the stadium. It was a display of marching bands, dancers and pure USA patriotism, and that was the theme that followed for years. In the 1980s, the Walt Disney Company got involved and we started seeing some interesting and questionable displays. But we got our first glimpse of halftime shows to come in '93 when none other than Michael Jackson stunned fans with his 15-minute medley of his own smash hits. When he walked out on stage, he had to wait for the crowd's cheers to die down for about 2 minutes before even starting his first song. Diana Ross, Gloria Estefan, Phil Collins all starred in their own shows, as did Aerosmith, who performed alongside NSYNC. Things got a little bit out of hand in 2004 when Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson produced perhaps the most famous or infamous wardrobe malfunction in history. Shows from the likes of Prince, Lady Gaga and Beyoncé are considered by critics as the best. To give you an idea of the scale of things, Rihanna's 2023 halftime show included roughly 800 people. These ranged from backing dancers to stage crew to camera operatives broadcasting to millions around the world. The whole stage for that show was built in roughly 8 minutes and was broken down and cleared away in the same time. The acts perform for free nowadays, even though the experts reckon it costs around $13 million to put on Rihanna's show. Artists know they'll rocket up the charts in the following weeks. Rihanna's average sales improved by 140% in the months following her performance. The Super Bowl halftime show will be a fixture in pop culture for years to come. So the question is, who next?
Welcome to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. I'm Jamie O'Hara. Over there, Jason Cundy.
Has anyone seen Deontay Wilder?
What about Simon Jordan?
Has anyone seen Simon Jordan?
What about Spencer Oliver?
Has anyone seen Spencer Oliver?
Oh dear, yeah, we've got to talk about that a little bit later on in the show. Newcastle fans, though, you're out of the Carabao Cup tonight. Got battered by Manchester City. 1 win in your last 9 games. He's been great, but is it all starting to unravel for Eddie Howe? Has he took his club as far as he can? You can have your say on that. 03 717 22 3344. There was drama at talkSPORT Towers today. Deontay Wilder kicked off at Simon Jordan before being escorted out of the studio. We'll get that latest later on in the show with Spencer Oliver. Also asking Arsenal fans, is this squad the best squad ever assembled? Piers Morgan seems to think so. Let's get involved in the show, though. Manchester City fans, Newcastle fans, want to hear from you. You are in the Carabao Cup final, Man City. 03 717 22 3344. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
Up the Chels.
Up the Chels.
Up the Chels.
Where's the package?
I know. Disappointed, actually. Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, it's coming,
No?
apparently.
It's coming, is it?
Got it teed up for 11, apparently.
It's not been made, is it?
It hasn't been made. No, definitely not been made. If he says 11, that means it's definitely not been made.
He's got an hour to make it.
He's just made. He's just he's text Dell and said, "We need a package.
Get to work, Dale.
package." How are you, matey?
I'm all right, matey.
How are you feeling?
I'm a bit tired. Oh, you don't mean that, do you?
No, I don't care about you being tired.
How am I feeling?
How are you feeling?
Disappointed
You
last
were
night.
shambles last night.
Well, do you know what, right? The funny thing is that I get exactly what we were trying to do last night. And now, you look at when City played against Newcastle, 7 minutes in, they concede the goal that Chelsea didn't want to concede. And the tie is effectively over, right? By 32 minutes, they're 3 down, right? That's exactly what Rosinha didn't want to do.
What happened?
Well, they went 3-0. Oh, talking about Chelsea. Well, do you know what, right? Up until half-time, I wasn't unhappy at half-time. Looking back, I think, and I said to you last night, I think he's got to make changes earlier. Make the changes earlier. Got to make,
You had 2 shots.
Yeah, well, on target.
Yeah. Two.
I think we're 14 in total.
That means nothing, mate.
I know, but
means
the shots,
nothing.
I know, the shots.
2 shots.
Yeah, we weren't good enough over the toilet 2 legs. I mean, really, what we didn't want to see was what we saw in the first leg, where really Arsenal should have. They won 3-2. They could have won that 4-2.
Bottled it.
Well, we
bottled it.
Hung in. Well, we hung in there.
No. There's no hanging anywhere. You weren't hanging anywhere, mate.
You can say
bottled it.
But you can say what you want. But the truth is, the tie on 88 minutes is still alive. You were still in it. On 32 minutes, Newcastle are packing their bags. Actually, on 7 minutes, they're 3-0 down. And that's exactly what you didn't want to do. But somewhere in between, I heard Paul Merson. I thought Paul Merson was way over the top in his assessment. Could we have done more? Yes. We didn't lay a glove on them second half. And that is the most disappointing aspect for me. Got to lay a glove on them, mate. If you're gonna go in with that attitude of frustrate, go 5 at the back, and you want to compete second half, then compete second half. And we didn't, unfortunately. We didn't lay a glove on them. Left it too late. And, Arsenal, look, they're top of the table for a reason. It was always going to be difficult. I said before the first leg, I thought we had to take something to Arsenal to go and defend it. But, no, congratulations to them. I've got to take it on the chins. We used to do that to them, mate. Pulling their pants down regularly in the mid-2000s. Doing it late 2000s, kicking them out the Champions League semi-final. Quarter-final. So, look, I've been there. I've been there, mate. I know what it feels like. But onwards and upwards, it's the first time, actually, that we're out of a competition this season. Right? And we've still got something to fight for. Still in the FA Cup. Still fighting the champions in the Champions League. Still fighting for top 4. Right? Stop the crying.
Let's talk about tonight's game.
Yeah.
Newcastle.
Do you know what? Okay, let's on that theme, right? Let me ask you this.
Go on.
Why didn't Eddie Howe have a little bit of Liam Rosinha about him today? Why didn't he? Because that first goal tonight, if you thought last night was crucial, which it absolutely was, today was even more so. They're 2-0 down in the tie.
Yeah.
They absolutely had to score the next goal in that tie. Otherwise, and at 7 minutes, the tie is cooked. It's done.
I don't think Eddie Howe, though. I think Eddie Howe's a brave manager. I think he wanted to go for it. I think he wanted to try and take the game.
They didn't, did they?
Well, I tell you what, they had some chances.
They did have some chances.
I mean, they had plenty of chances. And Man City, I know they've gone through tonight,
chances, mate.
but they
half give you chances.
They give you so many chances.
Yeah, they do.
They're like 3 1-on-1s, Newcastle.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Arsenal, if they played against a better opposition, let's use Arsenal because they're playing in the final. If they give Arsenal those sort of chances, Arsenal will punish them. They will. And Arsenal defensively are the best side in the country. We all know that. But there's somewhere in between, right? Being brave and defensively solid. That's what Arsenal have got it perfect the way they set up most weekends. Defensively, you can't. Let alone have a shot. It's hard against them. But they get things right at both ends.
Newcastle a bit embarrassing though, really. In the end, they go 3-0 down.
Do you know it could have been worse, mate? 3-0 at half time. I think Stevie. I was going to call him Stephen Carragher. Jamie Carragher was making the point that don't make it, an embarrassment because at 3-0 at half time, if they concede the 4th and then the 5th, then you are looking at an absolute spanking, aren't you? But fair play to Newcastle. They won the second half. If that is something you can hang your hat on, but their chances, it's true.
Eddie Howe under a bit of pressure, maybe,
I think so. I think that conversation has been going on for quite some time. Look at the league table. Their form in the league, in particular away from home, has been nowhere near the level of what they want to be, and who actually they were a couple of seasons ago, and they've got Champions League football.
I disagree with that.
What do you mean?
I don't think Eddie Howe can be under pressure. He's done a fantastic job at that football
club. Let me tell you,
and they are hamstrung with injuries, with signings. I think they'd be crazy to even contemplate letting Eddie Howe go. No way.
Well, you asked me if he's under pressure, and I think when you look at Newcastle sitting 11th in the table, this is not what the ownership come in for. Now, I know they're hamstrung, but are you now accepting that that's the best they can do?
Well, I think that they're at a ceiling at the moment in terms of where they can get to as a football club commercially.
Well, that ceiling, they were Champions League football. Where did they finish? 4th a couple of seasons ago?
Mm.
They finished 5th last season?
They're still in the Champions League.
No, I'm saying they finished 5th last season, right?
Yeah.
Right.
No, but they're not. They're 7 points off Champions League.
Okay, so but you asked the question, he's under pressure. Absolutely. I don't believe for 1 second his job is completely safe. I genuinely do not believe. You can't be that, I don't think, complacent to think his job, I'm all right. You just got, like they win the Carabao Cup last year, right? First trophy in 2 generations, whatever it was. But your bread and butter is going to be your league form. And if they finish in the bottom half, which at the moment, okay, you're right, what are they off top 5? They're 6 points, 7 points off top 5. And the problem they've got is the traffic in between them. There's a lot of traffic, and I think I'm only giving you an opinion from the outside looking in. Newcastle fans tell me if he's under pressure, because I tell you I think he is.
All right, well, let's go to Sean. He's a Newcastle fan. All right, Sean.
All right, Shawnee.
Hello?
All right, Sean.
Shawnee.
Hello?
Sean?
Hello?
Sean?
No, he's...
Hello?
Are you winding us up, Sean? I can hear you, mate.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear us?
Sean?
Hello?
Oh, mate, do me a favour. He's honestly ridiculous.
Hello?
What's he listening to?
I don't know what he sounds like.
Like a cartoon.
It sounds like a kids program.
Didn't it?
Yeah, that's weird.
Watching Peppa Pig.
He's throwing a sports bar while watching Peppa Pig. Let's go to Dom. He's a Newcastle fan. Dom.
All right, Dom.
Oh, good evening, boys.
All right, matey.
Dom, look, disappointing tonight in the end. You know, you had some chances, but it was over really after 8 minutes.
So I've got a few things. So first of all, Jamie, I think you're talking absolute rubbish. Eddie Howe is massively under pressure.
Well, really?
His job is massively at risk.
Okay. I mean, look, I'm intrigued to know.
Right, so there is a way that Eddie Howe can still be regarded as a club legend, but still be at the risk of getting the sack, and still be at risk of losing his job. What he did for this club when he first came in and what he's done up until probably the start of this season has been nothing short of extraordinary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've never seen really a team rise like that, apart from probably Man City, but even then they had a few dodgy years when they first took over. Eddie Howe has achieved things that no other Newcastle manager has achieved for over 70 years, which in my book is a legend. He's one of the best Newcastle managers I've ever seen, if not the best, in my lifetime.
Mm.
So from there, yes, he's a legend.
Yep.
However, the here and now, which is making the difference ultimately on our ability to go forward as a club, whether that be commercially, whether that be with the players that we sign, whether that be with the competitions that we're in, and our ability to challenge for these competitions, we are stagnating. We have been stale this season. We've been stale pretty much since the back end of last season from when we won the Cup. We won 2 games in the last 9 last season, and we've won 2 away from home in the Premier League this season. Tonight was a prime opportunity for him to go to... No, I'm not crying. But there is points that can have perfect validity.
Yep.
Tonight was a prime opportunity, 2-0 down to Manchester City, for him to go there, set the team up with the idea of going for it and actually having a go. You go with the back 5, you're setting up to frustrate them. 7 minutes in, we're 1-0 down. Yep. The game, as Cundy said, the tie's done. It's finished. You know, and all 3 goals today were easily preventable. They were sloppy and they were poor. We had 4 big chances through the game. We missed all 4 of them. Visa had one at the start of the second half that looked like he'd never struck a ball at the goal before. Alanga had one after he scored, which I'd still baffled hearing it. Gordon had his one early on. We had 4 massive chances. You take those, you win the tie. I don't care about, or you win the match at least. I don't care about winning the tie. I never expect us to go there tonight and go and get through to the final. However, to be 3-0 down in 33 minutes is a joke.
All right, listen, look, tonight's a tough... Dom, look, tonight is a tough night. I get it. It was a poor performance. You look like you're a bit flat. You look like you've run out a bit of steam. But to say that he's under pressure, I'm amazed that you're saying it, because you sound like you know what you're talking about, Dom. And I'd be amazed if you think about Eddie Howe getting the sack. Like, you won the Carabao Cup
Unfortunately, I
last
do.
season. It's the first time you've won a trophy in at like, what, 30 years or something ridiculous, right?
70 years.
70 years.
domestically. And,
Right, so you got
and I cannot thank that bloke enough for giving me that day
Okay,
at Wembley.
okay,
It's
but
the
so
best
where's
day
the
of my
credit?
life.
So where's the credit in the bank then? You're in the Champions League. You've qualified for the playoffs, right? You're 7 points off fourth, right? You sold your best player that you've seen since probably Alan Shearer in Isak last season, right?
And reinvested the money.
Yeah, but you've been reinvested it in money on players who are nowhere near as good as Isak. You know,
So
and that's
then
just
fundamentally something is wrong. Who wants control of transfers? If that's who's control of transfers, he should be nowhere near them. If he was at any other club, any other big club, if he was at Man City, Man United, Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, he'd have been sacked pre-Christmas.
No, he wouldn't, mate.
And there's no
He
denying
wouldn't.
that.
I don't
He
believe
would.
that.
He would. Chelsea have proven that before, Jamie.
But Chelsea,
Your club have
you
done it
can't
before.
compare Chelsea to Newcastle. You can't, Don. I'm sorry.
You're not, Jamie. Sat Mourinho the week before a cup final. You probably would have stood a chance of winning with Mourinho in charge. And but Ryan Mason, who'd never made a game in his life before, in front of him.
but that was a terrible decision.
Just before we... Dom, I understand what you're saying. You're not the only Newcastle fan I've spoken to about this. There is still a lot of football to be played. Okay, you're out the Carabao Cup, disappointed. You couldn't hold on to it. You won last year. For the rest of this season now, Eddie Howe has got to prove that he is more than capable, because there is only 7 points between it. There's a lot of traffic in between it. But what he's got to prove now is that he is capable of making a challenge in and around those European places. To have no European football...
That's my worry.
Yeah, if there's no European
My
football...
worry. The traffic in between is my concern, because we've had league seasons before where you could be 6 and be 7 points off of 6. This time we're 11th.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of teams that we rely on dropping points. A lot of teams that have looked really good this season as well. Yeah. And we haven't.
Okay, but there's a manager that deserved the sack for an average season.
He's the one who sets the team up, isn't he, at the end of the day?
For an average season. Like, this is not a terrible season for Newcastle. This is an average season so far.
But we saw the harm that being out of the Champions League did for us. Because ultimately, it probably pushed things back towards wanting to go.
I hear you, but the Champions League, we are talking about 4 or 5 teams who are fighting it out to get in the Champions League, who have spent way more money than Newcastle and have got better players. Right? Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, right? And Chelsea. Right? Newcastle, you're not a million miles away from it. Aston Villa are having a great season. I'm surprised that there are Newcastle fans out there that actually are considering wanting to turn on Eddie Howe and give him.
Do you think the owners came in to finish bottom half of the table?
I think the owners.
Question to you now. No. Do you think the owners?
But they're not going to finish in the bottom half of the table.
No, but look, okay. If they do, or don't finish out European places, not even Conference League.
I don't think they will. I think they will finish in.
All right, let me tell you now, mate. These guys out in the Middle East, they're not playing games. Okay. Right? They come in. Okay. They've had a taste of Champions League football.
Okay.
They've seen West Ham win the Conference League. They've seen Spurs win the Europa League. That's where they want to be. If they're out of that European football, mate, I think there's a very, very good chance they'll say, "You've done that, thank you. Okay. It's gone stale. We move on."
But what about the fact that Newcastle are hamstrung with PSR? It don't matter how much these guys have got.
Aston Villa, hamstrung, 4th.
Yeah.
4th.
I think it'd be a mistake. I think it'd be a mistake.
I'm just saying,
Eddie Howe knows that football.
It will not be the biggest shock in football if, come the end of the season, Newcastle decide to part ways with Eddie Howe. It won't be. It won't be a shock.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it depends where. This all depends where they finish. But right now,
they finish 7th.
Depends what they do in the Champions League. I mean, 7th. There might be an argument to say, right, let's see how next season starts. Depends what they do in the Champions League. Do they go out in the next stage, because they're the only English side not to qualify?
Yeah.
In the top 8. If they go out against it's Karabag they've got, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, Karabag. If they go out against Karabag, that's a black mark against his name. I will not be surprised, mate.
No, but I know we're very quick to jump on managers. I've done it with Thomas Frank this season, but I just don't know. With Eddie Howe, I feel like that is a recipe for disaster. I do.
What?
I think he's a good manager.
I'm not saying he's a bad
manager. Like, where's the credit? Doesn't he deserve some credit for what he done at that football club and what he done last season? He won a trophy for them, beat Arsenal in the semi-final, but beat Liverpool in the final,
mate.
Right? And then this season, it's been a bit average. They've been a bit flat. They've sold his sack. They've got injuries. And then all of a sudden, it's like, nah, Eddie Howe, not for us. We'll get rid of him.
No,
what?
I don't. You don't keep the job based on what you did 2 seasons ago.
It's not 2 seasons ago. It was last season.
Well, it will be next season.
I don't know. I'd love to look. Let's go.
All I'm saying is that right now, when I look at the league table and Newcastle are sitting 11th, if they finish anywhere near mid-table this season, out the Champions League, I think there might be. I think there was a case to say, look, let's freshen things up. The new owners have not come in to see this. They've had a taste of Champions League football. They want European football. They want to be able to compete with the likes. I'm looking at league table. Right? Brentford above them, Sunderland above them, Fulham above them, Everton above them.
Okay, but they have. Look, they're in the Champions League. Okay. They're in the playoffs. Oh. All right, they've got beat tonight, but it was in the semi-final.
They could end up 7th, right? Could end 8th. They might get Europa League football.
They'll finish. I believe they'll finish above. I think they'll finish in the European places. Okay, I do think that, and I don't think they should sack Eddie Howe. Let's go to Matt. He's a Newcastle fan. Matt.
All right, Matty boy.
Good evening, gentlemen. You okay?
All right.
Yeah, all right, Matt. Look, obviously we're talking about Eddie Howe. We talk about the performance as well. It wasn't good enough tonight, but it was a tough. You playing Man City.
Mate, I'm absolutely disgusted. Like, the last couple of months has just been awful.
Go on, why?
We're just not good enough.
Why?
We're just not.
Why?
We just want to be Sunderland. Because Sunderland are massive. I wear the lads.
Honestly. Sunderland fan. Let's go to Michael, who's a Newcastle fan. Mike.
Right, Mikey, by the way, just on that.
Yeah.
If Sunderland finish above them, that puts pressure right there. That's no other club finishing above them. That's Sunderland, team that played this time last year. Were fighting it out in the Championship. They're nearest and dearest, finishing above Newcastle. That in itself is pressure.
I know, but you can't think about them. I mean, Sunderland have a good season.
Local pressure will, that'll be a. If I'd said to you at the beginning of the season, Sunderland are going to finish Newcastle, what would you have said to me?
Oh, I would have been. I would say
You'd laugh me out, wouldn't you?
I would have laughed you out.
Right, okay, right. That's no joke. If they finish above.
No, but Sunderland are doing amazing this season, and Newcastle have fallen a bit flat. But Sunderland are just really, it's all about Premier League survival, and they've been great.
Just saying, if they finish above them, and they might not, Sunderland, who knows? But if they finish above them, that's local pressure.
Let's go to Michael. He's a Newcastle fan. Mike.
Mikey.
Hello.
All right, Mikey.
Mike.
Yeah, I'm just travelling back from the game from Manchester.
Yep.
I travel from Wrexham to Newcastle, 400-mile round trip. I'm a season ticket holder, and I absolutely love what Eddie Howe's done for this football club. But I am now in a position where he's taken this football club as far as he possibly can. And I, for one, now will be calling out on national radio Eddie Howe out.
Yeah, I mean, when you say Eddie Howe out, you mean now, end of the season?
I would say end of the season. Right. They need to have a look because I think if they finish 7th, listen, I think I was speaking to a lad in the ground 2 weeks ago, and he said we're 4-5 weeks off our season finishing, and that's it. We're out. We got Villa in the FA Cup next week, which I don't think we'll win. So we could possibly out the FA Cup. We're obviously out the League Cup tonight, and I don't think we're going to finish top 5 this season in the Premier League. So I think that goes down as a failure for Eddie Howe this season.
Okay, but what gives you the divine right to finish in the top 5 every season? What gives you that right to think that we're going to sack our manager if we don't finish in the top 5?
Which is fair enough. What you're saying.
No, it's not fair. That's not fair.
I'm sorry. It's fair what you're saying. Yeah, it's fair what you're saying. What I'm saying is Eddie Howe goes under the radar. But if you look at the net spend that man has spent in our football club over the last 4 years, you're looking at £400 million.
Right.
He goes on about
everyone spent money. Everyone spends money now, Mike.
Okay. Right. If you look at his squad, the man has spent £110 million on Jacob Ramsey and Anthony Elanga. Okay. It's not good enough. Them buys aren't good enough. He spent £130 million on 2 strikers who doesn't play at Anfield.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Wait, we've got to wait there because Sam Matterface is with Eddie Howe right now.
Definitely lucky announced, I'm sorry. We're live with Eddie Howe in the tunnel. Sorry about the coat. Sorry about the scoreline, because the scoreline doesn't really tell the story of the entire game. You had so many chances in the match. How do you view it?
Yeah, tough 45 minutes, opening 45 minutes for us. I thought we wanted the fast start that Manchester City got, and it wasn't for the want of trying. The lads were all out in the game, but we looked like we were lacking in energy first half, lacking in the normal intensity that we play at. We were a little bit reactive, poor in duels, conceded some poor goals, albeit that, as you said, there were chances in and around their chances for us, which we didn't take. Second half was much better. I thought we were, our physicality showed in the second half. Substitutes made a big difference, and we could have scored more.
Yeah, when you go back to the first leg, Visser has a chance in the first 5 minutes. Bruno hits the bar. You have the chances tonight. Does it feel like this is a semi-final that could have been a very different story? Yeah,
if you look at the scoreline alone, you think it's really comfortable for Manchester City. I don't think it was. I think it could have been very different, but we didn't take our opportunities when they came. And of course, we're stretched and we're chasing the game. To come here as 2-goal down this is the worst stadium, I think, and the worst team to play when you're chasing and you're leaving yourself a little bit exposed at the back, which we felt we had to do today to have any chance of scoring the goals we needed to get through. But the damage was done in that first leg, and we were trying to claw it back today, but it wasn't to be.
You knew conceding first today would cause a real problem. It'd be a mountain to climb if that happened. We are 3-0 down after half an hour. What's the message in the dressing room at half-time? What's the mood like in that scenario?
No, the mood wasn't good, and some harsh words were spoken. I think it was the time for some honesty, and we had to play for pride. We had to play for our supporters that turned up and supported us magnificently today. We had to play for all of our values in that second half, and we did. And fair play to the players, because we gave actually a really good performance and could have scored a lot more. And you just never know. You want that second goal in the game quickly, and we were really on top of that stage, but it didn't come.
When Anthony Elanga goes through the second time, having scored his first goal for the club, do you think this is the moment things could actually change, or at least the mood could lift? Yeah,
because I think the first thing you do when you play any game is you try to win it. And yes, we were 3-1 down in a game, but that was an opportunity to go 3-2. And as I said, you never know. So all through the game, I've got to give the players credit. We never gave up, and we kept going right to the end, and that's all you can ask.
Twice in a week now you've gone away from home and you've suffered quite heavy defeats. At the same time, you've been without, and I'm trying to make a list of it, Bruno, Joe Linton, Livramento, Cher, Miley, many others as well. You're trying to manage minutes of players that are coming back from injury too. How much has that contributed to those performances?
I'm never one for making excuses, but I think when you lose the quality of players that you've just mentioned there, I think your performances are bound to be affected, and I think we're in that state where we're playing games, the players are slightly fatigued, the schedule has been relentless, and we're not able to rotate in the way that we want to. We're asking players to play again and again, and we've been here before, but it's never ideal. So we're trying to manage it, we're not making excuses. And we've played Paris, Liverpool and Manchester City away. I defy any team to come through that period without being stretched and challenged, which we have, but we're just trying to keep it together because we've got so many more games to come.
What's the situation with Anthony Gordon in that same vein?
We hope he's going to be okay. It's a hamstring problem. Obviously it was enough for him to come off. I don't know really the extent of it.
This cup has given you so much joy. Does it hurt a little bit more that it's ended in this fashion?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it hurts just to exit the competition. Having won it last year, we're really sad because we were hopeful of an epic comeback tonight. It wasn't to be. Now we have to turn our attentions to the other competitions we're in.
See you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eddie in that second.
Eddie Howe there with Sam Matterface. Keep your calls coming in. Want to hear from Newcastle fans. Obviously, we've had 2 on already who are considering looking at wanting to sack Eddie Howe, which I find amazing, to be honest. We'll obviously take Man City fans as well. Get involved in the show. 03 717 22 3344.
Michael, just on to football. Arsenal now. People are talking about the quadruple. I think it's too much for them. As much as I think they're a special side with a great squad. Is there a chance in your mind that Arsenal could win all four?
No, I don't think so. I think you're right, Al, that they are special. They're a very strong side. They're very efficient. It looks like they're going to stroll the league, really. I don't think there's anybody good enough to compete with them this season, even though I don't think the points total is going to be that good. I just don't think. I think the only two teams that could have beat them at the start of the season, Liverpool and Manchester City, are obviously faltering. So I think Arsenal will have won it, but they've been semi-handed it as well. I don't think nobody's really put much pressure on them. So I think the league is obviously nearly wrapped up. I think, they could win the Carabao Cup. Absolutely, they could. And then the other two are going to be tough.
Yeah.
Absolutely tough. I mean, everybody's going to, all the other teams are going to be focusing on the FA Cup even more now because the league is almost over. It's going to salvage their season. So they'll be putting strong teams out, a lot of their competitors. And then the Champions League, that could be anybody's. That's really open this year.
I agree. Definitely.
Mike, I'm going to ask you, mate, where are you at this moment in time with centre forwards? We'll look at Haaland, probably out and out centre forward. Yourself out and out centre forward. Shearer out and out centre forward. Are we kind of drifting away from that at this moment in time? I'm thinking of boys like Ekitike, Salah's goal return's unbelievable. Are we seeing just as many out and out Drogba's number 9s like that?
Oh, there's a huge dearth in centre forwards, Ali. I mean, football's changed. Football is not, nobody or very few teams play two up front nowadays. And then if you've got two up front, back in our day, you'd have two on the bench as well. You'd have four really good centre forwards in your squad. Mm-hmm. Now, not many teams have one. Some teams don't even have a centre forward.
Yeah.
You are listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy. We're asking if this Arsenal squad is the best ever in English football. Piers Morgan seems to think so. But first, Newcastle lost 5-1 on aggregate in the Carabao Cup semi-final tonight. Here's how it sounded right here on talkSPORT.
Guardiola has his sights set on a fifth Carabao Cup triumph, and to do it, they have to overcome a familiar foe. Mikel Arteta and Arsenal on March the 22nd under the arch at Wembley. They are chasing them in the Premier League. They are the team they have duelled with over the last few years. The master against the apprentice. Manchester City making sure in the first half with goals from Marmoush and Reinders. And from that point, there was no way back. Newcastle's defence of the trophy that changed the narrative on Tyneside is over. But Manchester City's hopes of reclaiming it have only just begun. Full time at the Etihad. 3-1 to Manchester City, 5-1 on aggregate.
Yeah, bad night at the office for Newcastle. It's all gone a bit flat for them at the moment. There are a few fans out there who want Eddie Howe out of the club potentially at the end of the season. You can have your say on that. I want to hear from Man City fans as well tonight. Decent performance, but give up some chances, Jason. How many chances did they
just watched the package, actually, of how many chances they gave up. And you know, if the Anthony Gordon one was really early on, you've got to take your chances, you know. And they had 4, 5 really, really good chances that on another day they punished them. I'm not suggesting 1 second they'd have turned it around, but they had, that the scoreline could have been very different.
Yeah, and I just think for Man City, they've got to sort that out.
Well,
Do you know, as a football club of their stature and where they're trying to be and what they're trying to compete
the second half performance against your mob at the weekend was bizarre because they had a firm grip on that game, really firm grip. Spurs were off colour, no doubt about it. And the first goal, all of a sudden, the energy around the stadium changed. But then, the Man City of old would react to that. No reaction at all. And another day, you might even go and get all 3 points.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been like that all season, I'm afraid. City unconvincing.
Let's go to Noah. He's a Newcastle fan. Noah.
All right, Noah.
Hello.
All right, Noah.
How are you?
Yeah, all right, mate. What did you make of it tonight?
Well, we're driving back home now from the game, and overall, the game we weren't that great at all. But put it in perspective, we got a semi-final of the Carabao Cup again, which we won last year. We're still in the Champions League. We're still in the FA Cup, and we're still doing okay in the league, no matter what the results are.
I tend to agree. I know you want to have this blockbuster football all the time, and you want to have these blockbuster moments, and Eddie Howe's brought that, and the team's brought that. But I just feel like, all right, it's not great, but I feel like you sold your best player in his sack. And whether you like it or not, it's cost you problems. You're taking points, loads of points out of your team. You scored 27 goals last season. You had 4 or 5 chances tonight. Isak scores. That might be 3-3. Might be game on. You're taking literally so many points out of your team, and the other players haven't quite got up to speed yet in Baltamada and Alanga. I don't think the conversation should be about Eddie Howe. I really don't.
I don't either. I don't understand what else he can do, to be fair. He spent the money that he's been given from selling Isaac on 2 players that I would have bought, retrospectively. It's not necessarily his fault that they're not performing. So, overall, I also think that the season's not going too badly, really, realistically. If you think of where we were 5 years ago to where we are now.
See, this is the thing, you see, right? You're right. But that is the mentality of someone that's saying, well, look where we were 5 years ago. We're doing it. That's not... The owners haven't come here to finish mid-table. I genuinely feel they expect, and this is what happens. Sometimes you can be a victim of your own success. Eddie Howe doing what he did in that first season, Champions League football, right? They will expect that again. And if he falls below that, and by some distance, you can't sit and say, well, look, we were 3 years ago.
Don't sell Isak then.
Well, but you can make a very good case, say that actually Eddie Howe turned Isak into that player, right? And he's done a really good job of that. But you can't then say, well, so you're saying the owner's going to sit in the boardroom going, well, really, we sold our best player. Maybe we should be halfway down the table.
Well, I think they've got to be realistic.
Well, at the same time as well, though, we took a day off work, drove all the way down here, right? At the same time, when we're coming down here, we're saying, we'll take a first goal, we're happy with that, right? And then at the end of the day, we're 3-0 down at half time, the whole way end singing. At the same time, I'm still enjoying myself, and I'm still happy that we're in the semi-final. So you really,
yeah, but that's you, the fans, and you're making a day of it, and I understand that. But the noises will not go away if Newcastle finish mid-table below Sunderland, they don't do anything in the Champions League, and they get knocked out of the FA Cup. Those noises will only get louder.
Okay, so for you, what have they got to do? They've got to beat Sunderland, right? That game coming up, I think, is on the 16th of March.
I don't know when it is.
It's when the Carabao Cup final is, I think.
And we win that, guaranteed, 100%. We win that.
They have to beat Sunderland. They got to finish above Sunderland, and they got to finish in European places.
I think that they have to minimum.
But what else is it supposed to do with the money at the same time? Like, we've spent money on players that I would have signed, 100%. What else are we expected to do at that time? Like, it needs time to work because we've been disrupted by Isak, 100%. That's his fault. And then we're still pushing on.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're having a conversation about what, we're speculating about what this happened, that might happen. But I don't think Newcastle, at this stage of the season, 24 games in, can be the bottom half of the table. I don't care how many points they are off top 5. You can't be without there being a noise. I genuinely feel that has to come with it. Bearing in mind where they were 2-3 years ago in the Champions League.
But at the same time, who would you actually think could replace Eddie Howe?
Well, no, that's a different conversation, right? And also, what really is interesting is the England job might come up in the summer, and Eddie Howe's name was linked with that. There is a very good chance that England may well be looking for a new manager. You know, that's something that may appear.
Okay, Noah, listen, thanks for your call.
I'm not saying that he's definitely getting a sack. But what I'm saying is that conversation has to be had. I think it's fair. I don't think it's out of the question.
I think it's unfair.
Why?
I just don't feel like it's a conversation that needs to be had right now. It's a bad night tonight.
No,
they've been knocked out.
Yeah, but it ain't just tonight, is it?
But I don't think they've been that bad. I've watched some performances from them. They've been flat. There has been performances where they've been flat. I give you that. But I just think, like, from last season, from what they achieved, the momentum that they had, the Carabao Cup win, Champions League football. You know, I watched them against PSG. What, last week? They were decent. They played well. They're a good side. But you're talking about Voltemada coming in. He needs time to settle. He hit the ground running. Now it's fallen a bit flat for him. Alanga's come in, spent 50 million. I would have signed Alanga. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that was a bad signing.
No.
It hasn't quite worked for him. Scored tonight, looks all right. But it hasn't got going for him yet. You know, and I look at the situation, I go, they have taken out one of the best players in the world in Isak last season. One of the best players in the world.
Yep.
They've taken him out of that team. Of course it's going to affect him. And Eddie Howe don't want...
That's it. Okay,
I just think you need to just...
No, but I just don't think...
I just think you need to just be careful that you don't jump and be like, oh, it's not worked out. Eddie Howe, I think it's time's up. He's hit the ceiling. And, you know, maybe that's... Hold on a minute. Calm down.
They've reinvested that money, by the way, right?
No,
it's not like
okay, mate.
they're stuck in a high interest account and getting interest on it.
You can spend 60 million on Voltemada, 50 million on Alanga. It still ain't Isak. That's why the geezer's worth 120 million.
So if
you really want to replace Isak, you sign a striker for 120 million.
So you're saying where they are is fair game?
I just think
11th fair game.
Not but they've got games to play. They're still in the Champions League. They've got their FA Cup. I don't think they're going to finish 11th. I think they're too good of a team. I think they've got too many good players to end.
Okay, well, look, we'll have this conversation later on. But what I'm saying is the noise, I think, is fair. I think it's fair. When you look at Aston Villa, Brentford, Sunderland, they're all above them. Everton above them, mate.
Where did Aston Villa finish last season?
6th.
Yeah, all right. Where did Newcastle finish?
5th.
Right. Champions League football. Aston Villa are having a good season. Newcastle are just not quite there.
Yeah, I just don't think it sits well, mate. I just don't think it will sit well.
Okay, all right. And Newcastle fans, keep your calls coming in. Going to get some Man City fans on us as well. 03 717 22 3344.
Months since you joined the football club, David. How do you reflect on what you've seen so far and the club's current position thus far?
Well, I'm thrilled to be here. You know, you're right. It's 5 months tomorrow, so I'm still the new guy. And if I get in trouble in any of the questions today, I will remind you that I'm the new guy. But I'm thrilled to be here. This is an extraordinary community, an incredible club, and it's a privilege.
And you came from American sport and Real Madrid, as I said in the introduction. So why Newcastle?
Well, when I was in New York thinking about what I might do next, I was there for 5 years in New York City. You know, I really missed football. There's so much I love about American sports, and you know, they're incredible. But they also are American. The interest in those sports, hockey, basketball, really a lot of that interest drops off at the oceans, right, on the East and West Coast. But football's global. So I adored my time in global football at Madrid, missed it really badly. And when I was thinking about what I wanted to do next, it was to find the right opportunity in global football, and I became convinced that Newcastle was the right place for me.
It's a special club, isn't it? I mean, already, what have you discovered that makes Newcastle United? To me, it's really special. I love the fans. I love the history of it. What does it mean to you?
This is a club with such incredible heritage that is, beloved by the community.
Oh, yeah.
And, the way that shows up is so incredible. People have been incredible with me since I got here. It's just so warm, so welcoming. But their first question is, how's the club? How's everything? And it's not just the sports fans. It is bigger than sport here. It is really, symbiotic with the community, and that integration that matters so much. I'm coming out of New York, as you said, where I think there's 14 local major teams.
Yeah.
Right. And I was around the Knicks and the Rangers, and you've got the Mets and the Yankees and the Nets and the Giants and the Jets. And, that's amazing. But in Newcastle, it's Newcastle United.
To the Sports Bar and Talk Sport. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy, going to bring you Deontay Wilder versus Simon Jordan from today's episode of Talk Boxing. This is blockbuster stuff. But first, let's head to the Etihad Stadium now. Sam Matterface just got up with City goal scorer Tijani Reinders, who said the quad is still on.
We are still in the race for 4 titles, and this is the first title that we can get. And it would be, of course, very nice to win it against Arsenal. And from that on, keep going in the league as well.
Is that the attitude inside the dressing room? You're fighting on 4 fronts here. You still think you can go after all of those and certainly chase down Arsenal at the top of the table? Because most people are sort of almost handing it to them as if it's already done.
No, we don't give up, and we are on a hunt, and we want to do our best at in every competition, and the Premier League especially.
Do you think you can hunt them down?
That's our goal, and that's what we are doing now. Yeah.
I mean, no one's really spoke about Man City on winning the quad.
No, they haven't, because Arsenal are kind of stealing the show at the moment, aren't they? They're top of the league table, top of the Champions League. They are the team to catch. They're the team to beat. That's why. But yeah, I mean, they are in the hunt for all 4. I still think Arsenal going to have too much from the title. Just can't see the City. They're just too open. Even tonight,
the Carabao Cup final obviously is coming up. Next month.
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting game, because that could give momentum. You get a trophy, right? Man City win it.
Yeah.
You go all of a sudden,
100%.
We've got the momentum now. We beat you.
Yeah.
And now we're coming for the title.
Yes, I think you're right to go do a deeper dive into what the psychology might mean about where the title goes. A lot can happen. Man City might drop more points. Arsenal might stay. There might be 9 points clear come that, or it might be 3. And they still got to go to City. There's still a lot of games to be played, but from what I've seen so far, I still think Arsenal are the team that probably both ends of the pitch got too much.
Let's go to Andrew's Man City fan. Hi, Andrew.
All right, Andy boy.
Hiya, boys.
All right, mate.
You all right?
Yeah. Look, you're in the final. Congratulations. What do you make of it tonight?
Obviously, I'm happy that we've got there. Again, it's another final for Pep. We'll just go in how Newcastle approached the game with the front 3. I just didn't understand how they didn't start Barnes and Risa like they did in the first leg, when they knew they had to come and chase the game. You know what a good player Harvey Barnes is. No, it's like I said, it's a cup final. You never know what's going to happen in a cup final. Hopefully, if we can win it, then, like you were saying before, hopefully we can get some momentum behind us, because at the moment, we just don't have momentum at the moment.
Andrew,
which is a really new thing.
Are you? I watch a lot of City. You'll probably watch more than me, but I watch a lot of City. I'm always defensively, always unconvinced that they are capable of keeping a clean sheet. When I look at Arsenal, even when Arsenal are a little bit off colour, they still manage to get over the line. I'm not convinced that City are that team that we saw 3 years ago under Pep. Of course they're not. But are you concerned that at any point in the game you are capable of conceding?
Yeah, well, especially second half of the season, absolutely. The fact that the leads that we've thrown away to yourselves, to Brighton, and also to Tottenham, where we should have been taking, no disrespect to those teams, we should be taking 9 points out of them games. And I stated that on the morning breakfast show on Monday morning, which is a worrying thing. I think, and also as well, you've got to look at is obviously we've lost. Diaz hopefully will be back for the Liverpool game. So obviously Kuzanov will probably be rested, and you'll have Diaz and Gueye at the back with Nunes and O'Reilly. But obviously losing Guardiola is a big loss. Is a massive loss. And I just think that we are rebuilding. And I think you look at the first half of the season, everything was going really well for us. We were playing well, we were keeping clean sheets. And this second half, we just saw open at the back. And we were comfortable for an hour tonight, and then all of a sudden,
they did have chances.
We were tired, and then Newcastle had chances then. And like you say, they get 3-1, and then Langer puts it 3-2. Then it's like, does that hold when we're at Fulham? And we were 5-1
the Fulham game, it's a great one to mention, the Fulham one, because that game was...
Does that come back into the equation? Does that have the mindset on the players? And just, like I said, if we can win it, great. But I think just the main objective is to finish in the top four. And then obviously the new players like Shirky's been absolutely brilliant. Reinders is I'm a bit hit and miss.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Gonzalo, Nico had a great first half of the season, not being so good in the second half. Aït-Nouri's playing well because he's getting game time. And we knew he was a good player, even when he was at Wolves. But yeah, it's just the defense. Just at the moment, the central defence worries me at the moment.
All right, and Andrew, listen, thanks for your call. I'm going to go to Dan, who's a Newcastle fan. All right, Dan?
Right, Danny boy.
Hello, mate, you all right?
I'm all right, Dan, I'm all right. Eddie Howe under pressure?
Not for me. So you've got to look above Eddie Howe, the sporting directors, the way the club's being run at the minute. You think, when Eddie Howe first came, he had Amanda Staveley, who was like the face of the club. She was like, answered all the questions for the fans. She was very positive. That left Eddie Howe to do his job as a manager. Amanda Staveley leaves, and then all of a sudden you're hearing like that Eddie Howe, Steve Nixon, Eddie Howe's nephew, they're running the transfers. So how can you blame Eddie Howe now, when especially for the last 3 January windows, where do you think he's got the time to sort out transfers as well as looking after the team and managing? It's like he's managing the whole club, because above him, the chop and changing went from Dan Ashworth to Mitchell. Now these, like today on talkSPORT, that Hopkins on 5 year wouldn't be challenging. How many times have we heard that? It just excuse after excuse after excuse. The owners, if they go rid of Eddie Howe now, they know for a fact that what is like above Eddie Howe is not in the right place yet to be able to get rid of him. He's keeping the club going for me at the minute.
I don't think anyone's saying he's going to get sacked now, but come the end of the season, as all clubs will do. Go on. Yeah, go on.
So even at the end of the season, they haven't been in long enough to be able to, say, all right, Eddie Howe can go. I think he deserves to have, if this season's bad and we're out of the top 10 and stuff like that, he's done enough in the club to be able to have one season that's a bad season. Next season starts off bad, okay, then talk about it. But this season, you need above him needs to be properly in place and stable before you can blame Eddie Howe.
I agree. All right, Dan, listen, thanks for
Cheers,
your
Danny
call. Keep your calls coming in. We'll want to hear from Man City fans, Newcastle fans. We'll take a look back at last night's semi-final as well. Chelsea got slapped. But just how good is this Arsenal squad? 03 717 22 3344.
You look at a number 10 role now, and that's even worse. You know, players that we used to watch like Bergkamps and Zolas and Cantonars and Letizier's, like genius players. They might not get around the pitch, but you know, it was everyone else's job to get around the pitch. Give it to these geniuses. They'll create something. They'll score. And even those players now, there's none of them. You know, any number 10 now has to be able to do the yards. You look at, a Bruno Fernandes. That's one of the best number 10s in the country. He's running further than anybody else on the pitch now. I mean, you can't get away with not doing the hard yards. And every single player now has got to be an athlete. And we're losing that creative, genius type of player, even in the number 10 role.
Michael, what about Liverpool? Just a quick one before we break. You're going to stay with us for a little bit, which is great news. Liverpool, Arnie Slot under pressure. There was just glimpses, wasn't there, against Newcastle, what Liverpool can do when they're flying.
Yes, absolutely. They've not been flying consistently. That's the problem. But in patches, Liverpool have played extremely well this season, but it's just been all too sporadic, let's say. I don't know. I'm the slot in camp. I think it's very, very premature to be thinking about. Here's a manager that's had his first season in the Premier League and won the league. I mean, that's incredible. Not many managers do that. If you'd said to Liverpool fans, once Jurgen Klopp left, if you said to Liverpool fans, right, for the next 2 years, you're going to come fourth and you're going to come first, everybody would have snapped your hand off. That's fantastic, because there's always the risk of things falling apart. We've seen it with when Wenger left. We saw it when Fergie left. Klopp was there for a long time, and to come in and continue that and to have instant success was pretty good. Now, so I just think that, I think it's far too early with those things taken into consideration. New players, it's an unbelievable squad. Yes, they're maybe lacking a bit of balance and maybe another one or two players or whatever, but I think it's far too early to be saying Arne Slot out. I mean, geez, he won the league last year for starters.
What football ground are you thinking of when someone says this?
Really tough place to go. Difficult place to go. Such a tough place to go.
It's a tough place to go at the moment.
It was a really difficult place to go, always.
But what are the toughest places to go, really? We've scoured the planet to find out. Forget a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke. Try playing in a blizzard 220 miles inside the Arctic Circle at the world's northernmost professional club. When Chelsea lost at Tromsø in Norway in the 97-98 Cup Winners' Cup, a massive snowstorm hit at half-time. These two boys and their brooms were absolutely no match for it. We're staying in Scandinavia for Scotland's toughest away day on a windswept cliff in the Faroe Islands. In Euro 2000 qualifying, Craig Brown's men were taken to fishing village Toftir. Kevin Gallagher called the pitch a cow field and the wind like Pittodrie on a bad day. The Faroe Islands part-timers equalised in stoppage time, leading to these absolute scenes, and still one of Scotland's most embarrassing results.
Daft little ground, silly game.
But away trips don't come any tougher than a lung-busting schlep up the Andes to face Bolivia in La Paz. But now the Bolivians have taken home advantage to another level. The country's highest city, El Alto, 4,100 metres above sea level. Grass doesn't even grow up here. Bolivia have not lost here yet. The longest unbeaten run in any professional league ever belongs to Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda if you must. They've gone 7 years without defeat at the Rajko Mitic in Serbia's Superliga. Their fans are pretty intimidating as well, but they're not as loud as this mob. Galatasaray's Ali Sami Yen Stadium's officially the loudest in world football. In a derby with Fenerbahce, Galatasaray fans set a Guinness World Record of 131 decibels. That's louder than Motorhead, and pretty tough to carry out your manager's instructions when you can't even hear them. However, our most intimidating away day is in Wales, where cameras can't enter and players can't leave. HMP Prescoed. This prison team was briefly kicked out the Gwent League over concerns about young opposition having to go in there. Now that's a tough place to go.
Early June 1939, Germany, always a tough place to go to.
Yeah, good evening. You are listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy. Deontay Wilder lost it with Simon Jordan today on talkSPORT. We're going to hear a bit of that. We've got Midnight Triv as well coming up. But first, time to take a look back at the last night's EFL Cup semi-final with talkSPORT Bet.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com to see all our latest sign-up offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Trossard, fall from him to Rice. Rice knocks his square through the midfield. Kai Havertz to win it on the night. Round the keeper, side puts it in. Arsenal are at Wembley. Blue is the colour, football is
and winning is our aim. No, he did do it. He wasn't lazy, Ryan. Or he just do it in the last hour. Who knows?
Up the Chels.
Up Chelsea.
Up the Chels.
Well, look, I told you, mate, we've got a target at the back. Club World Champions, mate.
Arsenal slapped Chelsea yesterday in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Kai Havertz scoring a goal off the bench, holding the badge up as well, just to add salt to the wound. Loudest Arsenal fan of them all, Piers Morgan, joined talkSPORT's Breakfast Show and had this to say on Arsenal's current squad.
I'm asking myself, who's going to beat us? Who in world football? Who in world? I'm serious. Who in world football right now is going to beat us? We are the best squad. We are the best squad assembled in the history of world club football.
Piers Morgan there.
Do you remember when he wanted Arteta out?
Yeah. Of course I do.
He was on social media, absolutely brating.
No, honestly.
Absolutely.
He is why people think Arsenal fans are insufferable.
Look, they are, and they have been for quite some time, an excellent team. They are. They are. And I predict the last couple of seasons they've win it. Gone again for Arsenal. Looks like they're going to finally get over the line. They're a brilliant team. They are. But they're not Arsene Wenger's Arsenal, are they? They're not. They're different. And football's changed, not just Arsenal. Football's changed. But when you come out with that, and look, if they go and win the quadruple, right, he'll have a point, won't he?
He will have a point.
He'll have a point.
Yeah.
But let's just say, I've seen a lot of teams, including Chelsea under Jose Mourinho and Klopp, they were all going to win the quadruple. You get so far, and the reason it's never been done, and the treble has only been done twice. It's because it's so difficult, and this is probably the hardest country to go and do it in because of the level and the intensity.
And the physicality.
Yeah. But look, as I said, they're going to go deep in the Champions League. They're going to probably win the title, and they may pick up a cup. And that's, it's a scary thought.
It is a scary
thought for the sports bar, mate.
Oh, can you imagine?
No, the sports bar.
Last day of the season.
Luckily, we got the World Cup just round the corner, so we won't only have a couple of weeks to speak
Yeah,
about.
we'll do a day. We'll do a day.
Do a day, yeah.
We'll do
half
a
a show.
Half a show. Yeah,
We'll
we
do
know
it.
what we'll do.
No, we'll do an hour.
We'll do it till half 10. We'll take calls when Arsenal win the league half 10. That's it. That's all you get. And
I think you and I are on, aren't we, on the final day of the season?
We are on.
Mind you, it'd probably be wrapped up by then. No, you never know.
You never know. Let's go back to some calls. We'll go to Gary. He's a Man City fan. Right, Gaz?
Right, Gaz?
You all right?
Right, Gaz?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Your phone line's not great. Are you on loudspeaker or on?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm driving back from the game. When I was driving to the game earlier, there was a report on talkSPORT about Guardiola, maybe his last season. Well, what I've been hearing about Eddie Howe, I'd gladly take him as the next manager of City.
Okay.
If he was to leave Newcastle, I would gladly take him as the new manager of City.
Okay, all right. I mean, look, he's done a brilliant job at Newcastle. No one's saying he hasn't. What are you shaking your head at?
Gal? Gal? What are you on about? You want to replace Pep Guardiola with Eddie Howe?
No. If Pep Guardiola leaves, there was a report on talkSPORT earlier.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I see the. Yeah, I know. But so you're telling me if the greatest manager in your history leaves the football club, you're going to replace him with Eddie Howe? Look, when it's one of the most sought after jobs in world football, you'd take Eddie Howe.
If Eddie Howe was available with the football that he plays, yes, gladly take him.
No, I'm not saying he's not a brilliant manager, but I'm just.
No, I think he's saying if that job becomes available,
okay. But what about all the other managers that are available?
It's a big statement. And no one else, Gaz? It's the only one on your list?
No one else out there, Gaz? You know that you.
Xabi Alonso?
See if any of the ex-United managers are available.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with Pep? You never know, do you? You never know.
I would be gutted. I would be absolutely gutted if Pep Guardiola left the Premier League.
And I'll be surprised as well.
Yeah, I mean, where's he going to go?
Well, sometimes I don't think it's about that. I think it's a little bit like stepping away. It's intense, mate. Well, to do that job, it has to be intense. It is a 24-hour day job, 365 days a week.
100.
Yeah, it is that, as we well know, right?
Yeah.
I think just sometimes there is that moment where maybe you just feel as though you've run out of energy.
You run out of steam.
He has moved. He went to Barca. Sorry, he left Barca, went to Bayern Munich.
No, but he's done all the big clubs.
Yeah,
he's done them all. Does he go back round to Barcelona again?
Don't know, mate.
Start again?
It's difficult to know, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's hard in the modern game now. What we saw with Sir Alex and Arsene Wenger, we won't see that again. Those two will go down as the longest serving managers in modern times.
Yeah,
at two big clubs, right?
Yeah.
I don't see that again.
No, I think it's too tough now to stay in it. It is. You're right. It's too intense. It must be so stressful.
Yeah.
Constantly having to.
Yeah, especially when things, they've had a mixed season, City. Even though they are 6 points only behind Arsenal, it's still been a bit of a mixed season for them, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, look,
they're in the final. And
quad is on.
The quad is on, mate.
Quad is on. Yeah. Let's go to Ian. He's a City fan. All right, Ian?
You all right, guys?
Yeah. Ian, you was at the game?
Yeah, just travelling back from the game tonight. You would not think in the stadium it was a semi-final.
I didn't want to touch on that, Ian, because it's an easy target with the Etihad a bit, but there was a lot of empty seats.
It's embarrassing, but I think the club has a lot to do with it though, because they're pushing the corporate side. They want these day trippers to come and have the half and half scarves, which absolutely does my head in. Seeing that and sold and around in the ground, like too many day trippers. It's shocking. It really is.
Yeah, look, you're not the only one, by the way. There's a lot of clubs that have that problem. But I think the fact that you were 2-0 up as well, if there were fans that were considering going tonight, and they do have other games on their mind. I think we all knew the time was over at St James a couple of weeks ago, didn't we?
Yeah, I know, but it's semi-final.
No, but
Yeah.
it's almost every season they have a semi-final, isn't it? It's not like
You
it's...
know, but you still get behind. I mean, even 80 minutes on the clock, and people are walking out. They're not even cheering the team off the pitch and clapping them. They just put us into a final.
Yeah, but you're spoilt though a little bit, Ian, aren't you?
I think there is an element of that.
You know, you've been spoiled. I mean, how many finals have you been in? How many moments have you know?
It's almost every year they're in a final, isn't it?
I hear you, and I agree with you, but
Pep's throwing his hands up to try and get the crowd going.
Yeah.
And no one's reacting. You know,
it's not just a City problem, is
you know,
it?
like I say, you know, it's great we're in the final, yeah, with loads of success and that lot, and it is a costly, you know, to follow City with finals being down in, especially when they're down in London all the time, and we've got to keep travelling down there.
Yeah.
But we've still got to create an atmosphere in our own stadium. It's great when we go away, when you're on away days.
They're the best fans, aren't they, away fans?
Absolutely electric.
no,
Electric on away days.
Ian, I agree with you. But you know, that's maybe the price you pay for being so successful.
I think there's an element of that the fans do get spoilt, and there is a moment where they might start pick and choosing whether they go to the semi or the final.
Yeah, but a lot of it as well. With
can't beat a big semi though.
And stuff. You can't transfer your tickets if you can't make it. You can't transfer it. The club have made it difficult.
Yeah,
so that's why you're getting the empty seats because you can't. You can't do nothing with them.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that. We've had a few Man City fans come on this season about that.
I think a lot of that has been done to try and stamp down on touts. When I come out of Fulham Broadway now, a couple of seasons ago, there will be touts asking either buying or selling. Anyone got tickets? Buy and sell. Buy and sell tickets.
Buy and sell.
Buy and sell. Anyone got tickets? Buy and sell tickets. Yeah. Don't see them anymore.
Don't see him?
Don't see him anymore because
no one wants to go and watch Chelsea.
Well, they've got the app now, so you can. There's no physical tickets. Everything's done online. Unless you have the membership, it's it's the only way you can pass tickets to another Chelsea fan by having the membership. Get the membership number.
Yeah.
So I think there's an element of that to drive down the touts. I just wonder what Man City fans think about that.
Okay. All right, Ian. Thanks for your call. Keep them coming in. We're trying
buy
to
sell. There's tickets.
We're going to hear Deontay Wilder lose
tickets
with Simon Jordan today on talkSPORT. That was a look at the latest action. Thanks to talkSPORT Bet. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleway.org.
Nice.
Alex and I witnessed there moments ago was highly charged and very, very emotional when Steve and Gabby clapped eyes on each other again, because Steve Bruce managed Gabby at Villa between 2016 and 2018. Steve, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Gaffer. And by the way, it was hard work. As you can imagine.
Cut his mic.
Can I say by the end of it, they were all hard work, and Gabby become one of the leaders of the pack, would you believe?
Steve,
it was terrific.
Let's set the record straight. When you arrived at Villa Park in October 2016, Gabby had been out in the cold and was training away from the first team. But you brought him back into the fold. Is this true?
He was straight back in, yeah. I wasn't really interested in what happened in the past, so I dragged him in and said, I'm not really interested in what's gone on before. Let's see if we can get yourself back into some sort of shape and get you back playing again. And that's what he did.
So you brought him back out of the bomb squad. Why were you in the bomb squad?
I think we got relegated the season before and done the whole pre-season with Roberto Di Matteo, the whole of it, no issues at all. And I remember it was 2 days before the first game of the season, and he called me into his office, and I thought, okay, he's going to say, where are you going to play? going to play on the left, on the right, as a striker. And he said, we want you to leave. I was like, oh, okay. Where? And he said, Reading and Rangers want you. I was like, okay. Well, I'm not leaving. I was part of the reason we got relegated, and I want to help this team get back to the Premier League. And I just said to him, maybe shouldn't I, but in the emotions, I says, I'll be here longer than you in the room with him. And I think he lasted 12, 15 games, wherever it was. And then this great manager, Steve Bruce, come in and got me out of the bomb squad. Very difficult, the bomb squad. It's not a nice place to be. You got 16-year-olds megging you, and you're thinking like, what's the point?
There was a few in the bomb squad.
Yeah, there was a few. Yeah. There was no seats left in the bomb squad at that time.
You're listening to the Sports Bar Talk Sport. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy. You can hear from Arnie Slot. He's been making even more strange comments in the media this week. But the latest episode of Talk Boxing is out now on the TalkSport Boxing YouTube channel. Simon Jordan, Spencer Oliver, joined by Deontay Wilder and Derek Chisora ahead of their fight in April. There was drama in the studio. Let's see how it all unfolded on Talk Boxing. Simon Jordan and Deontay Wilder went back and forth over Tyson Fury.
I wanted to move you on to Tyson Fury.
And I don't want to talk about him.
No, you're going to.
We're here about.
No, but you're going to.
We're not going to talk about him
at
all.
But as part
we're
of
not going to talk about him at all. Understand that?
No, fair enough.
All right, then. So let's move on. It's all about Derek Chisora, and that's it.
I understand that. I understand that. The only
back, baby. The only y'all understand that? You better be. April the 4th is going down.
The only reason.
At the O2, you better be there.
Fabulous.
You'll be a square.
The only reason I mentioned it is because it's part of the shtick that goes with you. And I missed you first time round when you came in here 3 years ago, when you were in your pomp 4 years ago, doing Bomb Squad and all that sort of stuff. And I've always wanted to have a conversation with you because you've made observations about Fury. I have my own views on Fury. And you've called him a cheat. And it leads me
the biggest in boxing.
Yeah, but it leads me to a conclusion.
Biggest in boxing. If somebody practicing, taking their stuff out of their gloves in training, what you think they're going to do in the fight?
Yeah, but...
That's all I got to say about that,
I want to put something to you about you, right? And Fury just happens to be the hook for it.
That's all I got to say about him.
You talked about being cheated in that fight. You talked about water being spiked. You talked about your Game of Thrones outfit being too heavy for you.
I didn't say that.
You said it was too heavy for you.
I didn't say that.
Okay, well, I might be wrong on that one. You talked about the long...
Y'all took a journalist that said something because y'all, everybody wanted to come in, oh, wow, boom, boom, boom.
You talked about a long count, right? And then you talked about the trainers, Mark Brulin not being good enough.
No, I ain't say he wasn't good enough.
So what I'm asking you in all of this is, it sounds to me, given the character that you are, that's like a little bit flaky. You lost those fights, and those fights were lost. And you saying that someone like Fury cheated you in those fights, I think is kind of disappointing to me about you.
Because I know the truth. I have the facts.
Okay.
Understand that. Because when the documentary and everything that started come out, I'm going to show every thing.
Fantastic.
I'm going to get all the people that know and all the people that's in the inside. He got people that the inside of him. I don't give a about that.
I'm not a Fury fan.
I don't give a about it. I said we didn't want to bring him up in the first place. It ain't got to do with him.
Fair enough.
Jeez.
Wowzers, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, that went from 0 to 100. Yeah. And we're going to be speaking to Spence a little bit later on in the show. But don't know if Simon Jordan wants to go up against Deontay Wilder.
Well, Derek Chisora was sitting there just giggling. Yeah, sitting there giggling. Poor old Spenny's saying, we'll speak to Spenny. Spenny's like, his little head's on a swivel. Which way?
Yeah. Spencer's like that. You know the meme of Homer going back into the hedge? You know, where he disappears? That's Spencer, isn't it? He just disappearing into the hedge.
You don't want to get between them. And when Deontay, I saw him today and I had a photo with him. Mate, he was crouching down and was still about 2 feet taller than me.
Massive.
He is enormous.
I didn't realise how tall he was.
He's 6'7".
Yeah.
Something like 6'8". He's enormous, mate.
He's a giant.
And then that clip, if you haven't seen it, go on social media. But he is standing up, looking down on Simon Jordan.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and their bodyguards were coming in.
I mean, what are them bodyguards going to do?
They're probably going to do nothing.
Genuinely, like, if Wilder wants to get at Simon Jordan, mate.
Yeah, I think Simon Jordan, next time he interviews him, should wear a gum shield. Just in case.
Oh, Simon!
Yeah, but he's fair, Simon. He holds his own, doesn't he?
No, he does. He does until, Deontay Wilder goes for him.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, well, that, he ain't going to lay a glove on him. He's not, is he?
No.
But he's still quite... I wouldn't want him shouting at me, mate.
No.
I was scared and he was smiling.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you'd act. I don't know how you'd react to that.
No.
If someone that big and obviously that powerful does lose his rag with you.
Yeah. Oh, it must... Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how I would react because my first instinct... my first reaction is to jump down their throat, right? That's you go on the attack.
Jump down his throat, mate. He ain't coming back. He's eating you.
I would genuinely in my own self think, right, I've got to go on the attack here.
Yeah.
You ain't going on the attack in that situation, are you?
No.
So you just got to take that one on the chin.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not.
Yeah. Stay with us here on the Sports Bar. Going to be joined by the man in that clip. No, not Deontay Wilder, but the bloke who at the back who looked terrified. Spencer Oliver will join us shortly. Let's go back to some calls. Go to Adam, he's a Newcastle fan. All right, Ad?
All right, Ad.
Hello, lads. How you doing?
All right, matey.
I'm all right, Ad. I'm all right. Look, we've been talking...
Big fan of... Go on, mate. Sorry.
Just talking about Eddie Howe. He's, a lot of fans coming on talking about he's under pressure.
Well, I tell you what, mate. Jamie, you've got to bang on before. So the issue I've got with these space cadets, these spacemen living on the moon, right? These Newcastle fans calling for Eddie Howe's head. It's pathetic, pal. And I tell you why, you knocked it on the head before. He has got credit in the bank. He's got a lot of credit in the bank. He's earned the chance to try and turn this round. 100%. First year he comes in, what odds-on favourites to go down. He turns it around, we're finished mid-table. Second year, we're finishing fourth. We've got Champions League football for the first time since Bobby Robson. Get to a Carabao Cup final. Next season, we'll hammer PSG at home 4-1. Unforgettable night that will live in all of our memories. Didn't get Champions League football that season, but he turned around the season after. We finished fifth, ahead of Aston Villa, and we get that last Champions League place. He absolutely deserves the chance to turn this round and win a trophy. The other clown he had on said, we spent £400 million. I tell you what, 10 years ago, if someone said to you, your club's going to spend £400 million, and there's going to be 150 million worth of bad transfers there, but we're going to guarantee you a trophy with that 400 million quid. Where do I sign up for that? I'll sign on the dotted line any way you want us to sign up for that. Unbelievable. If you can be gracious for your time, there's two more things I want to talk about. The other thing is the performance and embarrassment. I'm not an Eddie Howe fanboy by any stretch of the imagination. If he's going to take the plaudits and the praise, he's got to take the criticism. And the team, the way it's been set up recently and the performances have been churning out, the inconsistency, it's not good. Tonight was a bit of an embarrassment. We kind of buy a goal. Wotamada's not the answer, I don't think. Wissa's not the answer, I don't think. But like I say, he's got to have the chance to turn this round. The next thing I want to talk about, and the last thing, and thanks again for your time, is it was my daughter's first away game today. Mm-hmm. We're sitting in the Etihad. Wow. What an embarrassment, mate. We showed up hours before. Oh, mate, I tell you what it is. We've absolutely packed out that upper tier in the away end. Thousands and thousands of fans, full voice. So proud of our away following. We've got the best away support in the league, and it's fantastic to be part of. And it's my daughter's first away game. It's 10-8. My daughter turns around to me and she says, Dad, is it an 8 o'clock kickoff tonight or is it a 8:15 kickoff? Because there's no home fans here. And I had to check. No, it's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Absolutely pathetic. The empty seats. Wow. And then my little nephew, who's 10-year-old, turns to his
This is the Etihad, isn't it? I think they should start calling it the Etihad. Absolutely pathetic. But with fat lads, I tell you what it is, and it's something that's for us to think about. With this financial powerhouse behind us and Man City and other clubs around the world, do you take away a bit of your soul with that? Do you sacrifice a bit of your soul? Like, what comes with that? And that's probably a problem for us, 6-7 years down the road when they sort out how they're going to run the club and to the betterment of this PSO situation and everything else. But yeah, that's the three things. The main thing for me is Eddie Howe calling for his head. Give the man a chance. He's delivered us some fantastic memories, and he's, like you said, Jamie, he's got credit in the bank, mate. 100%.
I think he has.
Good call.
All right, Ad, brilliant call. Thanks for phoning in.
Yeah.
Enjoy the trip back.
Yeah, going back to that as well, that Newcastle have been starved of success for, like I said, 2 generations.
It's crazy.
And that Newcastle, in stark contrast to Man City, Man City have been absolutely spoiled. They won the treble a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah.
It's the other one before back-to-back Premier League titles.
Yeah.
FA Cups. Getting the Champions League final. This is a football club that and I, as a Chelsea fan, I know it feels, because we've been spoiled over the years, last 20 years.
Yeah, of course you have.
And your attitude can change a little bit.
Yeah.
But when Newcastle, at the first trophy in 60, 70 years, whatever it might have been, things are, it is different. But, I mean, look, no, there are fans calling visit. I'm not saying that this is going to happen anytime soon. What I'm saying is that there will be a conversation if the league position is where they are now. If they're out the Champions League with a bit of a whimper against Qarabağ and they get beaten in the FA Cup against Aston Villa, that I think it's inevitable. I just think it's just what goes with being manager of a club like the size of Newcastle and having success, having Champions League.
No, but you say that the size of Newcastle, right? If it was Man United and Liverpool and Chelsea,
but that's the
difference. I can understand the argument, all right? I get the argument. But Newcastle, as you said, haven't won trophies for generations, and this man has come in and done a fantastic job. He took the club to new heights, and now obviously they are punching at a weight where you're like, right, Newcastle, because they are a big club, but they're not serial winners of trophies. He won a trophy last season, and at the moment it isn't quite going where they want it to go. I would just be, let's calm down a bit. If it was Arne Slot, I get it. I get the argument. Liverpool have to win trophies, have to compete. Man United, Amrim, get him out, have to compete. Newcastle, I'm like, okay, calm down a bit.
So you're judging Newcastle by a different standard?
Yes.
Right. Do you think the owners judge themselves by a different standard?
I think they should.
Why? Do they not want to be where those clubs are?
Yes, but they're not there yet.
No, but that's where they want to be, and they have been there. They've rubbed shoulders. They've been in the Champions League. They still are. They've tasted what it feels like. They know what it feels like, and they know the money that comes in. Keeper of the players. I mean, Lewis Hall, right? He's probably the best English left back in got right now, right?
Him and Nico Riley, yeah.
Right. What you want to do is you want to make sure, one, you can attract players, but two, keep them. If he doesn't get European football next season, he's going to be thinking about his international career, as will a couple of others, by the way. That's another thing to consider.
Jordan Pickford's England's number 1. They ain't been in Europe for ages.
No, we're not saying every player, but I'm saying that they will consider, and
to come from here and manage Newcastle must have been great, but when it went pear-shaped and there was a lot of toxicity, how bad did it get? How affected did you become?
Well, where I lived, there was a little cottage in the gardens, and an elderly couple lived in the gardens, and the number of times we had to get the police was not great. And it was in amongst COVID too, where people weren't at their best. And listen, it's been well documented.
Why the police?
Well,
what happened?
I lived on the back of Jesmond Dean, and one night there was rockets being fired. These big fireworks being fired at the house, and and the people that knew had got there. But look, it was a handful, and there's always a little handful. But all in all, it was difficult because some of the press in particular weren't having me from day one, which I fully get. I fully understand that maybe I wasn't good enough to manage this great club in their opinion. I fully get it. But it became, I believe, in the end, personal. It was especially with one or two. It became personal. And that I had the issue with. And most of the time, you're looking over your shoulder. But I still look back on it and think I'll never, ever regret not taking it. Look, when people like Kenny Dalglish and Graham Souness and people like that told me how difficult it was. You know, it's a difficult job.
Yeah.
Thankfully now, listen, all that's in the past. Thankfully now, they've got money behind them. They're where they want to be. They're competing at the top end. They've won a trophy. They're in the Champions League. They've still got a lot of work to do, but that's what the supporters
And you're
demand.
genuinely pleased for them.
I am genuine. I'm a Geordie. I'm genuinely pleased.
But I think a lot of the fans thought you were too close to Mike Ashley.
Well, that's a load of nonsense. It's a load of nonsense. It wasn't the fact. Listen, I got on particularly well with him because I tell you what, as a chairman, he didn't interfere. He didn't say you can't play these two tonight because one of them's got a sore hamstring. You know what I'm hearing now, which is absolute nonsense. He never interfered with the team. He let me get on with it, supported me as best he could. What more do you want as a manager?
To the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, and Jason Cundy alongside me. Still to come, we've got Midnight Triv, and we need your help. 03 717 223344. But first, time for this. Yeah, rest of talkSPORT. We're going to run you through the highlight moments from across the station. Let's start with this morning's breakfast show. Alan Brazil was back and opened up the show with a health update that everyone had been waiting for.
You're indestructible, always believing.
What possessed us?
Oh, dear.
What possessed us to sing that?
I don't know. I know. In the break as well, wasn't it?
That was madness.
Right, 4 minutes after 6. I'm still alive, okay? God, right. I've never had so many texts and emails. And...
people are concerned.
Are you all right? Are you dead? Are you dying? Yeah, give us a break.
Answer, if you...
Like, nice to know that he thinks highly of us, that we message him and make sure he's all right.
Yeah,
you know, like
I messaged him. He sent a nice message back.
Did he?
I think he'd appreciate the little message.
Did he send you a message?
I asked
back?
him. I said, "Are you dead yet?"
I didn't. I messaged him. I said, "Don't be dying, right? Because you know, breakfast show will be all over the gaff."
Not yet. Not yet.
Not ready yet.
But,
and all I got was a thumbs up emoji. Like, cheers, Al. You know what I mean? Like, I'm genuinely concerned about you. But have you ever? I mean, you turn up for work. To be fair, I've seen you when you're in a right old pickle when you're ill. Yeah. And you come and you show up.
I do. If I'm not in, mate, that means I'm struggling.
Yeah, you know,
I'm in
are
big
on
trouble.
death's door.
Yeah, I mean, I had a day off a couple of Mondays ago, mate. I was in. Yeah, I thought I just didn't have the energy.
Yeah, you will come in.
To be fair, right? So does Big Al. I've heard Big Al sounds like Sean Dyche's brother some mornings, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's not ill. He's just had a night out.
Yeah, okay, that's slightly different with Big Al. Maybe it's self-inflicted.
Have you ever faked an injury or an illness to get out of something?
Don't think so, mate.
No?
I don't think so. No. Why? Have you?
Yeah.
Have you? What have you faked?
Well, I mean, I've said I'm ill a few times. You know, to get out of something, you know, like a...
Oh, to get out of something or work?
No, not work.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm talking about like going out for a meal with
Oh,
a family.
mate, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, is there a go-to?
Sore throat. I mean, especially after COVID, right? Everyone was a little bit like, no.
Yeah, I think I got COVID.
I think I might have, that. No, all right, stay in then.
Yeah, no worries. There was no questions asked.
That's since then, though, all you've got to say is, I think I'm getting a bit of a sore throat. All right, well, look, you stay in then. Don't.
Yeah, easy. It's a given, that one.
Yeah, and I think it's fine. I think everyone's done it, and they don't want to go out. Like you get maybe a Saturday night, you went, I don't want to go out tonight. And the lads want to see me.
Yeah.
As I'm not feeling.
You know, like when you make plans and it gets to the plan and you're like,
I can't bother it. No, it is, mate. That's
can't
old
be
age.
bothered. What is that?
That's us getting older. Like we can't. I went to the opera the other night, right? I bought some tickets ages ago.
Yeah.
Ages ago for the Lucky Mr. C.
Yeah.
And it was the week I was ill, actually. It was that week that I had the Monday off. And Friday comes round. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I fancy it. I didn't say anything. I thought maybe I'd give the ticket to my mum and my wife would go with my mum.
Yeah.
And I kind of didn't float the idea. I'm feeling a bit tired. Well, you got the opera tonight?
But your ideas up.
Yeah, to be fair, I pulled it round. Mate.
You pulled it round?
I pulled it round.
Here's one for you. I bought some Hans Zimmer tickets at the was it Elders Court? What's the Royal?
What's Hans Zimmer?
Hans Zimmer, who does all the.
What's he do?
Oh, come on, mate. You know,
only Zimmer I know. He's a Zimmer frame. That's what I'm.
No, Hans Zimmer. He does all he's a composer. He does all the amazing live music.
Okay,
right?
go on.
Of all the Gladiator and Interstellar.
Right, go on. Yeah.
I got some tickets 6 months ago, and I forgot that I got the tickets. And then it come round, and the missus reminded me, was like, Hans Zimmer coming up. Cannot wait. Right. Really looking forward to it. I could not find the email for the tickets for love or money.
Oh, really?
Lost the tickets.
Seriously?
Lost the tickets. Gone. Devastated. So I said to the missus that I was ill. And I just said, I've got a refund.
Is she listening to the show?
Hopefully not. Not at this time at night. Hopefully not.
I might just message her now.
So I just lost the tickets. I was gutted as well. I really wanted to go and see
You know what? Sometimes you you forget how you bought them.
Yeah.
Who'd I buy them through?
Yeah.
And you end up typing in like any clue you might be able to find your emails.
Oh, email clues are just.
Yeah.
It's a minefield.
It is a minefield, mate.
Yeah.
It is.
Alan Brazil is back tomorrow on Breakfast Shows alongside Gabby.
Okay, now on to talkSPORT's Drive, the show where heavyweight boxer Gerald Baby, or Big Baby Miller, joined the show to talk about his bad hair day in the office. Wowzers.
I wasn't sure if it was coming off, but I just felt like a draft, like an AC just hit my scalp. And I'm like, holy crap, did this thing come off? But I wasn't sure. Of course, I can't see the top of my head. But it wasn't until I sat down and my coach was giving me instructions, and he just could not pay, like he was stuttering too much. He just could not pay attention. His eyes are going up and down, up and down, up and down. And I'm like, God, if this thing is up, how can I know? So I'm looking at the Jumbotron. And sure enough, the minute I look at the Jumbotron, my hair is flapping and the crowd is going crazy.
I mean, fair play to him, right? It is
amazing.
He's getting punched in the face, and instead of having his gloves up around his face, he's trying to pull it back down.
It's so funny that he said that he felt like AC just hit his head. That's so good.
I mean, fair play.
Fair play to him. You know what,
for coming on. And
he's got so many more fans now because of that.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to sound like a silly question, but I'm going to ask it. Why has he got a wig on?
What do you mean?
Because, well, most. I mean,
he don't want to be bald. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? It's a silly question.
I don't think it's a silly question.
No, but then look,
he's a boxer.
Okay,
right? I mean, how many bald boxers do you get?
Okay, but there ain't many times that he's going to be in a ring, is there? 95% of the time he's outside and he's living his life, and he wants to have.
He had his wig punched off.
He wants his wig on. They look all right then, by the way.
Mate, to be honest, from behind, look great. The front didn't. Mate, I've got mine. I've got mine all thatched done, haven't I?
When are you having that done?
In about a month, 6 weeks.
Hold on. So this is happening.
Yeah.
So you are getting your hair. You're getting a hair transplant.
I got a hair transplant. Remember we spoke about it about.
Oh, I remember talking about it.
Must have been about maybe a year ago, 10 months.
No, I said you got to sort the 5 head out.
Yeah, and now it's been
Hold on. So this is happening.
It's happening, mate.
Oh
yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's happening, mate. It's happening.
Oh, so what are you going with? What you full like? Are you doing like? How many creases are you going down?
Well, I'm going to the top. It's going to be the expression is age appropriate. Right?
Okay.
So, I mean, look, right? And I'm going to go down to where the wrinkles start, right? So it's going to go all the way down here, right? Right?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna
wow, there's a lot of wrinkles there, by the way. Hold on. I'm looking on the YouTube page.
Right, but it's going to go down. Wow. It's wrinkle. Gonna go there.
What, mate? You know, if you get a little hair transplant, a bit of Botox,
I don't want Botox.
20 years younger.
I don't want Botox.
You don't like Botox.
No, I'm not going to have that, mate.
Everyone loves a bit of Botox,
mate, listen,
mate.
the horse is bolted. There's no point putting Botox in
You'll be
it.
getting a hair transplant. You're taking steps.
No, I'm not taking any steps with the Botox.
You are.
I'm not going to do that.
I can sort it out for you.
I don't want Botox. I don't.
Sort it. I can sort it.
I'll have a chat in the next break. Don't remember Goldstein and Bentley return tomorrow afternoon at 4:00.
Okay, let's just finish playing a clip. 21 minutes to go. Podcast. Goldstein and Cundy discuss their social media use.
If you used Instagram or social media, people could send you links to great stories. What do you use? X.
I don't really use that.
What you just said I do?
I look at it.
Right, what do you look at?
I can't tell you that, mate.
X. I mean, what platform do you look at? X.
I look at both, but I don't post anything. I don't interact with it.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you look at X, people can send you links to stories.
I look at X. I look at Instagram as well.
Okay, so
but I don't look at my page. I just look at other people's pages.
Jason Cundy 05.
Yeah.
On X.
Yeah.
Send Jason links to stories that are crazy.
Yeah.
And you can have a look.
That'd be amazing.
And then maybe you can credit someone with the story. This week's story comes courtesy of.
That brilliant idea, mate.
All right.
Great idea. And what about on Instagram?
Jason Cundy 05.
No, I think it's Jason _Cundy. I think.
We'll have a look for that one, but primarily send them to X.
Yeah. There you go.
You're not a social media man, really, are you?
No, I've fallen out of love with it, mate. I don't interact with it anymore. I've had enough, mate.
Can't be bothered. Too old for it.
No, it takes effort. I mean, I follow you on Instagram, mate. Fair play to you.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, fair play. You know, you're prolific.
Well, it's only because talkSPORT put out so much stuff and they collab with me in it, and all I've got to do is press accept. I've told you this.
Anyway,
and I've said to you, just ask them to collab with you on the
they
post.
They do collab.
Accept.
But I don't know how to collab back.
I know. He genuinely doesn't.
I don't know how to collab back.
He doesn't know how to press accept.
No, I don't know where to go.
It's really easy.
Well, it is when you know.
Be sure to check out 21 Minutes Ago podcast. Download it wherever you get your podcasts from. Of course, you can find all our shows on the talkSPORT app, where you can swipe between talkSPORT, talkSPORT 2, all your other sister stations. You never miss a moment. Up next, we got Back Pages.
You know, obviously, I don't think he feels particularly happy about his treatment, and I spent a lot of time suggesting to me that a lot of people were very complimentary about his tenure at Spurs, and I went through a roll call of people that were very complimentary about him because he did a good job in my view. May not have won as many things as he could do and should have done, perhaps as Spurs as a football club, but as a person that's built a spaceship that maybe some other captain can fly to the moon, there's a huge amount of potential there.
Okay.
Can I go and do Deontay Wilder now?
No, you can't. We're sitting up in here in Newcastle. Steve Bruce is asking for you.
Is he?
I'm alongside Alex Crook and Gabby Bonlahor. You're waiting Chisora and Wilder. Are we right?
Where are you, Simon? You should be up here in the northeast. You can kind of get past Watford these days.
I know. I figured to myself, do I want to go up to the north and get a nosebleed? No, I do not. So I stayed down here. And what I'll probably get is a nosebleed from Deontay Wilder if I ask some bloody saucy question.
Oh, good luck with him, by the way.
Indeed, have fun. I see Gabby's increasing the tone of the environment up there.
Simon, I've just found out that you actually said that the Saudis wouldn't buy Newcastle, so...
Oh, gee,
they did a week later.
Oh, gee, Gabby, nice to see you're current. That was 3.5 years ago, you clown.
Simon, just before you leave us, on the Tottenham Hotspur situation and the Levy situation, Levy reportedly in discussion to sell 30%, which would work out at £1 billion. Is there pressure on Daniel to sell to these people?
No.
From an Enoch perspective?
Well, no, not necessarily, because Enoch might not want to jump into bed with these guys. I can't speak to that. But Daniel is a shareholder in his own right. There is pressure, I suspect, on Daniel, because we've seen the noise. We saw some of the suggestions that they're going to go and review the policies of a guy that they let run the club for 25 years. So they're going to go in there and look at the transfer policy and the economics and how the efficiencies of commercial deals were done. Oh, really? Okay, good enough. That really is about probably denigrating Daniel's.
Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy. We've got Midnight Triv coming up. We need your help. 03 717 22 3344. But first, it's time for this. Jack Cunningham joins us, Newcastle fan as well. All right, Jack?
All right, Jason.
No, I'm not all right, no. Fog on the Tyne. Oh, man, what is this about? That's just a disgrace. Anyway, Carabao Cup defence is over. I wasn't expecting a lot going into the game, but I wasn't expecting me 3-0 down for about half an hour.
Shambles.
It was a shambles. It was. We created loads of chances, but unfortunately, not putting them away. Look, I don't know. I heard some Newcastle fans there saying they wanted Eddie Howe out. I'm certainly not in that camp. I think the fans were there chanting his name all throughout. So I don't think the actual people who go have turned against Eddie Howe. But what we'll say is this season is looking pretty bad. We've got Johan Misser up front. That's doing pretty bad. And then Walter Marder, we just can't seem to get him. We just can't play. We're just not using him properly. It's as simple as that. Not using him properly. And Gordon went off injured, so great. It was a great night. It was class. Yeah. You had enough fun with the violin?
Brutal stuff.
That's what it is.
I had to go for it last night, JC.
It was good last year. It was good last year.
Yeah, I had to go for it last night, matey.
Yeah.
Look, let's. I tell you where. Let's start Pep's ambush, moosh. No, I couldn't do that to you, matey. We've done all that. Back page of the Sun, Cop Boss Wild claim. You what, Slot? Good football is worth more than trophies, says the back page of the Sun.
Yeah, on a Slot, very strange interview with the Reds roundtable where he was essentially saying that for him, over the long course of time, playing better football and nice football for fans is more important than trophies. He's saying obviously trophies are important, and of course they are, but I feel like it's just a bit of a strange thing to say maybe this season, because Liverpool aren't actually playing that good football and they're not going to win the Premier League, they're not going to win the Carabao Cup, they might win the FA Cup, and they're still in with the chance of winning the Champions League, but the Champions League's probably their best chance, realistically, of actually winning something. Yeah. But even then, they're not one of the favourites by a long way, really.
They ain't playing good football. I don't playing good football, and I'm sitting there thinking, hold on a minute, you're playing terrible football right now.
Yeah, they're not playing good football at all. Like, they've picked up a little recently, I suppose, but I think that's just because Florian Wirtz and Ekatike have started to link up really nicely. But there's still loads of players they've got in their team who are not even remotely playing at the levels that we saw last season, and I don't think they're playing good football at all. It was a very strange comment from Arne Slot to say this season, especially. He's had some weird comments this season, to be fair. It feels like, I don't know if the pressure's getting him a little bit or what have you, but he is the manager of Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah.
They are the defending Premier League champions. In terms of Premier League defences, as far as the Premier League defence go, this is pretty pathetic, really.
Yeah.
They're so far off it.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Arsenal. John Cross.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Pressure point from Odegaard.
Yeah, Martin Odegaard interview saying that he thinks the team can withstand the pressure, etc. But he did also mention that he says that the nerves from the Emirates and what have you do sometimes reach the pitch. But I suppose they have responded well to that setback of losing to Manchester United. They were helped by Manchester City and Aston Villa, of course, dropping points. But it kind of feels like they are probably going to fall over the line in the Premier League because the other teams don't seem to be able to actually maintain any sort of sustained challenge. I mean, even if you look at Manchester City, realistically, defensively, still all over the place. Like, again, tonight, conceded a load of chances to Newcastle, who missed just numerous opportunities. And then equally, Tottenham at the weekend. You know, Tottenham had plenty of opportunities and then did actually get a draw. I understand why Odegaard's going to keep saying this. I think you're going to hear this a lot from any sort of Arsenal player, etc., from now until the end of the season, because they have to keep trying to put it into their own heads that they can, I suppose, finally get over the line. But it feels like they probably are going to win at least a trophy this season. It'd be incredible if they didn't, to be honest.
Agreed. Back page of the Times, ITV adverts in Six Nations scrum breaks.
Yeah, pretty awful stuff, to be honest. So ITV signed a new deal to show the Six Nations free to air, which is great. Sharing it with the BBC, which is important to keep something like the Six Nations on free-to-air TV, because there are a lot of, I suppose, casual rugby fans who watch it. You know, maybe not avid rugby fans, but a lot of people do watch the Six Nations. It is a really big thing. So the fact it's free-to-air is important, but they're introducing ad breaks when the scrums are on, or when they're waiting for the scrum to set up. So when ITV are showing it, you've got you're going to have your ad breaks obviously during like half time, before, what have you, and then now when there's a scrum break, they're going to throw in an advert as well. So very much kind of that Americanization and edging towards sort of.
I've read a bit of the story. It does say that you're still going to be able to see the picture though, but the advert's going to be in the corner.
The advert's going to be on the corner, yeah. I know. It's just a bit unnecessary, isn't it, really?
Feels so, like, American.
It's so American. It's so American. Because I was looking, actually, for the Super Bowl this weekend. It's $10 million for a 30-second ad.
Yeah.
So that's how much
But I get that, right?
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl. I get it.
Yes.
Right? You know, halftime Super Bowl advert. I get it. But, you know, come on. Adverts in the Six Nations.
The Six Nations, I know.
Yeah.
There's no need for it, is there? You can just leave this sort of thing alone. There's no actual need to have
commercial TV,
this
right?
be a constant thing. Look, I understand rugby has a financial problem. You know, it does have a financial. It doesn't have the same TV deals that football does. We've seen big rugby clubs go sort of out of existence. Like Wasps went extinct sort of not that long ago. That's kind of like a team like Aston Villa just ceasing to exist. So it does have a financial
if
problem.
I see another aerial advert of Peter Crouch getting muddled like that, like, do you know what I mean? I'm sick to death. Every advert, every time.
Crouchy's everywhere.
Here he is.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere, the boy. And it's like, if I'm watching the Six Nations and I see Crouchy turn up, I'm going to be like, hold on, mate, there's something's going on here.
So dodgy going on here.
So make it rugby related at least.
Yeah, exactly. No, but what I will say is I do worry that maybe we might, unfortunately, maybe say they start creeping into football. I don't know, because it feels like whatever happens, whatever the way they get more adverts and more money, they will do it, won't they? So
yeah. All right. Just lastly, the talkSPORT website. What's on it?
Oh, talk boxing today. Absolutely kicked off. So we had Deontay Wilder in, and we had Derek Chisora in, and Simon Jordan was hosting Talk Boxing, and he asked a question about Wilder's fight with Fury. And let's say Wilder didn't take to it too well, because he stormed out. He swore, he kicked off, they had to get the security in to separate kind of him from getting to Simon Jordan. Luckily for Simon Jordan, because I think his head would have been knocked clean off if Wilder got anywhere near him. So I think probably lucky for that. But yeah, it's a brilliant thing. It's on the top of the talkSPORT website. It is, and you need to see the video of it, because it is absolutely incredible. To be fair, Simon doesn't really. Well, basically, Wilder said he didn't want to talk about the Fury situation, didn't want to talk about any of his fights. Wilder called Fury a cheat again. He said he's got evidence. He said he's got a documentary coming out that's going to prove that Fury cheated in all of their fights. So it was absolute prime time viewing. It was great, but I don't know about if Fury was a cheat. I'm going to say he probably wasn't.
No. We're going to be speaking to Spencer Oliver. He's coming on in a bit.
Oh, so brilliant. Well, there you go then.
Yeah, it's going to be good to chat to him about it as well. All right, Jack, top man, mate. Pick your chin up. Thanks for coming. Right, we've got Midnight Triv coming up. Help us out. 03717 22 33 44. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus to be gambler.com.